might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fans Week. We are here one more time. It will be the last afternoon of us being together and, having the opportunity to expand our knowledge about different calls. In this case, will be about Horizon Europe. And here we are. We are Andrea Platero and he is Melquiades Lozano. We are the co-founders of Incubadora con Valores. And many of you, for sure, you know us already. We are the first incubator for people at risk of exclusion. We work in Spain, and we also work in 22 more countries in South America. And in the next year, we are ready to expand to English and French speaker, and most probably also to Arabic ones. We develop a program in which we help and support entrepreneurs at risk of exclusion, people that it cannot find a job and they are outside of the labor market, to create a livelihood, to create an income. And we do it with 1,000 mentors that they are volunteering with us, sharing their experience and their time. And now we will be able to speak with one Horizon Europe expert. Her name is Adeline Marcos, and she will be here with us. She's coming from the national contact point of Spain for Horizon Europe Cluster 2. And here we welcome her. Hi, Adeline.
Hi.
We are so glad to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And now I will introduce her to the audience, and after she will be the one explaining to us everything related with the next call of Horizon Europe and also the whole program. And I have to say that Adeline Marcos, she's a science journalist and national contact point for Cluster 2, Culture, Creativity and Inclusive Society of the European Commission's Horizon Europe Framework Program, with a degree in journalism and a master's degree in journalism and communication of science, technology, and environment. She has worked for 15 years at the SYNC agency since its creation, publishing in all national media, and she also worked in the science section of the EFF agency and had experience in French and Canadian media. And for us, it's a pleasure to have you here, as we say, Adeline. Thank you so much. And now is your time if you would like to start with your presentation. Any organization that has any question, you can write it down on the questions and answers. And after all the presentation of Adeline, I will be asking her the questions and we will have all the answers. And also now we will share in the chat the networking event link, in which after this presentation, we will be able to meet different organizations that might join also. And I will write it down there in a couple of minutes, and you will be able to join after we finish with this presentation and also with the answers.
Thank you, Andrea, for this introduction. I think you all are seeing well this time the
Yeah,
presentation.
it's
Okay,
perfect. It's perfect.
great. So I'm the NCP from Cluster 2 in Culture, Creativity and Inclusive Society from Spain. So I'm like the connection between the European Commission in this Horizon Europe program and Spain. So here you have the picture of Horizon Europe. I don't know if you already know this scheme. And so where is the Cluster 2? Cluster 2 is located in Pillar 2. So it's a program that will be answering issues from this pillar, which is the global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. So there are 6 clusters, and this one is more focused on culture, creativity, and inclusive society. So it's the one that has the most social orientation, to say it in a way. The budget is more than 2,000 million euros for the whole period of the program, which means from 2021 to 2027. It's a 7-year program, and it's divided into different work programs, into 2 years work programs. So it started in 2021 and 22, and now we are in the 23 and 24 work program. The one in 25 will be extended to the one we are having now in the 23 and 24. Sorry. So even if we have a 2-year work program, the calls are given every year. So when we announced last year, for example, the one from 23 and 24, we already knew which ones were for the 24. As for the objectives of this cluster, one of the main objectives is to strengthen European democratic values, including the rule of law and fundamental rights. So it's more connected to improve democratic governance and citizen participation, which is very important in this cluster. And it has also a different area more focused on cultural heritage, to protect and promote this European cultural heritage that we have in our continent. And another area is to answer and to shape social, economic, technological, and cultural transformations that contribute to inclusion and growth. So how we do that? What is the meaning of this Horizon Europe program? It's to mobilize different groups with multidisciplinary expertise. In this case, it will be more about social science and humanities, but the special thing about this program is that it has to provide evidence-based policy options, which means that it's a scientific program, and all the solutions that will be given from the proposals and the different projects will be based on science, on scientific solutions. Even if we talk about inclusion or cultural heritage, it will be all based on evidence options in that case. So it's like solutions from science to social issues. The call is open since last month in October, and it will be open until the 7th of February. So we still have more than 2 months, and the budget is 256 million euros for this year, and it's divided into 3 big areas that I will show you. It's like democracy, cultural heritage, and socio-economic transformation. The document that you have here, it's one of the most important one because it's a work program. So here you have the work program, and it's where you have all the information of the different calls that you can find in this Cluster 2 program. Okay, so maybe Andrea and Andy can send the link now in the chat, so you can have the link to this work program.
Yes, I will send it right away.
Okay, hey, great, thank you. And so here you have an example of, for example, for the calls from democracy, from the democracy areas. So you have 12 calls for this area, for this destination. So it's called a destination. And so you have the title, and you can click on each topic, and then you will have like a more detailed information about each topic. In that case, for example, they can give you the specific condition. So they give you the total budget of each topic, of each call. And then you have, for example, they say from the European Commission, they say that each project can have a budget of between 2 and 3 million. So if we have a total budget of 9 million, it means that we will have around 3 projects founded under this call. You also have the information about the kind of or the type of action that it's required. In that case, for example, it's a research and innovation action, which means it's more focused on the research, on the science. So the Commission will want to receive some political recommendations or methodologies about these specific issues. Another type of action is, for example, this innovation action, which will be closer to the market, and they will be asking for example, some pilots in the and to be able to represent these activities in different contexts of Europe or in the world. You also have a very important part, which is the expected outcome. And sometimes they tell you that you have to contribute to all of them. So you have different points, sometimes only a few of them. But it's very important to read this document very carefully, because each word is very important and each word counts. So if the Commission writes, for example, here, they mention the rise of authoritarian tendencies. So you will have to explain why your project is also focused on this context. Okay, so sometimes when you don't have any, you can't. Sometimes when you can't really follow this recommendation that they give you in this topic, you have to justify why you are not including a country, specific country, or a specific recommendation. Okay, so it's something that it has to be really read in a very carefully, and it's not a very long text. It's only 1 page or 1 page and a half, but it's very important to read every sentence with special care. So here you have the 3 destinations, so the 3 big areas of this cluster. The one, it's, as I mentioned, democracy and governance, to threaten democratic values. The other one is about cultural heritage, and especially to promote these cultural and creative industries. And the last one is about social and economic transformations. I give you the titles. I'm not going to go into detail about each of these calls, because we have, for this 24 call, we have 28 different topics that you can present a proposal until February. But here you have some information about them. So, for example, in democracy, it's you can have different topics about, for example, the impact of the rule of law and other European values, or, for example, the interrelation between social, cultural, and political identities, or the gender roles. So the title of each call is quite important to identify where you can write your proposal, but you also have information of the instrument. So if it's more focused on research or in innovation, in that case, as you can see, it's a research and innovation action for the first 7 topic in this call. And here you have the total budget per project. Okay, so for example, every project, so there will be, in that first call, there will be 3 projects founded in this call. So, and they will receive between 2 and 3 million euros. It's important to know the budget, because that will help you to create the consortium and also to distribute the task that each partner will have in the projects. Here you have more topics about this democracy call. So as you can see, they are all research and innovation action. And the last one is a coordination and support actions, which is different. Only one project will be funded, and as you can see, the budget is higher. You also have in these topics one of the most important topics it's about the citizen participation. Okay, the social participation, and in each topic they will ask for showing how the society can be more involved in this democratic process. I give you some of the documents that can be useful for you when you're going to write your proposal, because one of the most important things in participating in this European program is to know which are the priorities of the European Union. And in that case, when you write your proposal, you write it from a general perspective, not only European, but sometimes a global perspective. And you identify the issue, so the challenge that you want to give an answer to, and then you focus it into the solution that you will be giving with your project. Okay, so here you have some documents about equality, about gender, human rights, and democracy. So it's more or less the priorities that has the European Union, and it's very useful when writing this proposal. In the case of cultural heritage call, you only have, for this 24 call, you only have 5 topics, because the other 5 will be open next year, and they will be more focused on the European collaborative cultural cultural heritage cloud, which is a project that has been launched last year. And so the call has been closed, I think, in September. And so we still don't know which is going to be like the big infrastructure that will support all the actions about this digital transition, this digitalization of the cultural heritage. But there will be every year, in parallel of the calls in each work program, you will have other topics about this cloud. Okay, so now we have only 5 of them, which are divided in 3 sub-areas, as you can see: green, digital, and innovative. And in the contrary of the democracy call, here you have more innovative actions. So it's more focused on pilots and in showing with platforms or applications or different mechanisms to show in a more realistic way, or in a more material way, how your project will answer to this challenge. So as you can see, it's more about, in that case, the cultural and creative industries in the climate transition, but also in the digital transition, and also how to promote and strengthen, for example, the European linguistic capital in a globalized world, or, for example, to promote the cultural heritage and arts inside and outside our continent, which means that we need, in that case, the participations of countries outside Europe, which is very, very common in the whole Horizon Europe program. So here you have the 3 sub areas of this cultural heritage destination. So it's quite important to see that they are focused on the different topics. So here, when you see green, is like the different topics will be more focused on the climate transition. When you see digital, it will be more in this digital transition. You will have inside this European collaborative cloud for cultural heritage. So and the calls will be published during the next year. And so you have also the last part of innovative. So to have more solutions, innovative solutions and creative solutions from science to support this kind of topics. One thing important to know for this cluster 2 program is that all the innovation and all the technology that you will be using or you will be using for your project doesn't need to be a state-of-the-art technology, which means that we don't have to create it from zero for that project, that maybe you can justify it like from other projects and to transform it and adapt it to your project. Okay, so it's quite important to know that, because in other clusters you will need more technology, maybe more focused on this state-of-the-art, but in that case they want to have like the development of projects that already exist, and to have the development and the adaptation with your own project. Because what they want from the Commission is to have collaborative projects, not only in the creation of the consortium, but also in the connection with other projects. So something very important to do also is to read about the project that has been founded before these calls, and to have an idea of what has been done, and also how to innovate and create something different, but also realistic in the execution. So here you have information about the European Collaborative Cloud. So as I said, in 2023, in the first call, what they wanted is to create this basic architecture and infrastructure of the cloud, and also to establish the governance and also the sustainability in the long term, because what they want is the cloud to be even after the Horizon Europe program. So it's a very big commitment from the Commission. And so in the 24 call, so that we will have maybe during the summer next year, what they want is topics and to be developed with the research and basic tools, and to show the functionality of what can be done with this cloud. In 25, we will have certainly pilots and maybe tests and real-world uses of this platform. Okay, so we will try to test, to improve, and to integrate the ideas in this cloud. So the total budget for this cloud is in these 3 years 110 million euros. In the last transformation calls, we have 11 topics, and as you can see, it's a mix of research and innovation action, and also I think there is some innovation action, and so you can see how in this case it's more focused on, for example, in the labor market, you have different topics more focused on the job creation, the job destruction, or the social services, or to know more about the social dialogue. So the Commission will need from you and from the projects, so recommendations, political recommendations for answering these different issues that they have identified during the creation of the work program. So one thing is that if you have already a project in mind, or you're developing a project, the thing that you have to do with the Horizon Europe is to be able to adapt your project to what the Commission is asking. So your project will be founded not because the Commission finds it lovely or nice in that aspect. Your project will be founded because it will be answering, and it will be giving a solution, a scientific solution to the different issues and challenges that they have identified. So to say it in a way, with your project, you are helping the Commission to give us a political, social, and economic solution to that issue. Here in this transformation call, you also have some topics about new technologies, artificial intelligence, how how will be the consequences in the day-to-day life of people, And in most of the projects in the research and innovation action, they want you to anticipate what can happen in certain contexts and give recommendations and methodologies to be able to answer them in a political way, in a European way. Here you will also have access to different documents from the Commission, when you can find information about the priorities of the European Union. And also it's quite important to read them in order to have this global vision of what they are asking for this call. As for the conditions and requirements, one of the most important things is to know which the priorities of the European Commission are. In that case, so these 6 priorities will be more or less reflected in the whole program, not only in cluster 2, but you will find them in other clusters. So a new push for European democracy, or promoting the European way of life, or Europe stronger in the world, or when we talk about the digital transition or the climate transition. So it's important to know all these priorities in order to understand what the European Commission asks for these goals. And it will be reflected in the strategic plan. So here you have the impact, the key strategic orientations and the impact areas. So most of them are connected to the big area of democracy, the other one for cultural heritage, and the other one for transformations. But if we take, for example, the objective of the cluster 2, you will see that it's more or less the same of the priorities of the European Union. Okay, so for example, to better manage migration and mobility, so it's in the 2023 call, we could find, for example, these calls more focused on migration. In this 24 call, they are more focused on the labor market, but it depends on which issues or challenges the European Commission and the member states have identified to give them an answer. Okay, so something that maybe because I'm also a journalist, but something that I always say is that when you read the media, when you read the newspaper and the different piece of news, when you see the different social issues and political issues that you can see, it will be reflected in these kind of topics. So it's a way to give a social answer from a political and scientific perspective. So the final key orientation is to create a more resilient, inclusive, and democratic European society with these cluster 2 topics. And who can participate? So it's mostly the groups in social science and humanities, but not only. We also have a research group from other disciplines, more focused on technologies and materials. It will depend on the topic and the needs that we will detect to have our project developed. We also have companies of all kinds, especially focused in the cultural heritage destination on cultural and creative industries, but also small and medium-sized enterprise in the field of digital technologies, like the augmented reality or virtual reality. So it's something that it's quite common, but as I told you, we don't need to create these technologies from zero. So we can use the ones that have already been used in other projects and adapt them for your own project. Also, other actors are the local, regional, and national public administrations. In some topics, they ask for the participation specifically of local entities. And we also have the museums or cultural institutions or the cultural tourism industry. And we also have the third sector, so NGOs and other non-profit organizations, which are very important in this cluster 2 program in their participation. And when we create a consortium, we need to know that it has to be quite diverse in the different partners that you can have. So even if it's focused on research, and we will need a research institution or a company more focused on technology, or sometimes a university, but we will also need some public administration, some NGOs, and some other actors that can complete this image of the consortium, because each of them will have a different task and an important task. As I said, it's these kind of projects need to be collaborative not only from the different origins of the countries and in the companies or the institutions, but also knowing what has been done and what has been founded before, to try to develop and to have more development from the science that has been already done. Sometimes in the topics, it's been specified very in a very concrete way which kind of topics has to be mentioned also in your project. Some other founded projects that has to be mentioned in your own project. So they need to have some connections among projects. As I said, we have research and innovation actions, which are funded totally, and innovation actions, they are funded in the 70%, okay, except for non-profit legal entities, which has the 100% funding. Okay, in the case of coordination and support actions, you will have a complete funding, and here you have more information about the different founded conditions that put the Commission. One of the most important rules to participate in this Cluster 2 program is to create a consortium with at least 3 partners, organizations from 3 different European or associated countries, which means that only at least one of them has to be a European member, and the other ones can be associated countries. I think Andrea can send you the link of the different list of countries that can participate, that are eligible for founding, and the ones that can participate even if they don't have the founding, but they can be inside a consortium. Depending on the budget that you have for your project, the consortium size may be between 8 or 14 partners. The average size is 12 partners, but it really depends on the budget. For example, in the first call of the cloud, only one project is going to be founded, and it's a 25 million euro project. So as you can imagine, it's going to be a very big consortium. And something that I always say is that the consortium is like a puzzle, and each piece is important. And without one of them, any of them, it may be difficult to complete all the tasks that you want to have in your project. So even if you are not the coordinator, or even if you are a very small entity, or even if it's the first time that you want to participate, it doesn't matter, because you are an important piece of this consortium, and your presence and your participation in the consortium will help to get the funding, and will help to get the project done in the time that you will decide. So for the timing and the duration of the project, it depends. It's not specified in the European Commission, so it depends on the budget and in the partners, but the average duration of the project is it's around 36 months, but it depends. If you think that you can have this project done in 24 months, in 2 years, it will be possible also. So you have to check with all your partners and to decide the timing of the execution of the project. So each piece of the puzzle counts, but it has also to be diverse. diverse geographically, not only inside Europe, but also having countries, if it's justified in your project, if you need a country outside Europe and you justify it in your project, it's also important, but also diverse in the kind of entities that can participate, not only in universities, so you can't really create a consortium with only universities or with only cultural and creative industries. So you have to have this mix of research institutions with also focused on social science and humanities, or companies or public administrations. So you don't have to complete all the list that I said before, but at least to show that it's the more diverse as possible. As for the kind of countries that can participate, so you have the member states and other associated countries that are directly included with funding, and then you have a list of countries that can exceptionally participate, and others that can participate because they have a very important task in the consortium, even if they don't have, or even if they don't get this funding. For example, here I give you some examples of associated countries. And also the novelties, as you know, UK at the beginning with the Brexit was out this Horizon Europe program, and then a few months ago they came back, and they are considered as an associate country. And it depends. So sometimes the participation of the countries may change when the political situation of the country change. Okay, so sometimes it's not because one country has been participating for a long time that you will be able to take a partner from that country. So it may change in the documents in which you can find this information may update all this information when they have this political situation in each country, when they are informed about this political situation. Okay, so it depends. So for example, in negotiation, we have Korea or Japan, and soon we will have also as an associated countries, Australia. So it's only you have to check if they have been updating and to see which countries are in or can't be really in the program. Here you have the information with colors, which is maybe more is easier to see for the associated countries and the third countries. Okay, so the ones that are automatically eligible for funding, and the ones that maybe are not eligible for funding, but that have some exceptions in the participation. In some cases, the topic itself may require the participation of certain countries. It's what we have here, for example, in the specific conditions. So you have here you have to choose at least one entity from these following countries. So Georgia, Republic of Moldova, or Ukraine, for example. So when they tell you that in the topic, is something that you really have to consider and to include in your project. Otherwise, you will not be eligible for funding if you don't follow these rules. In other cases, they require also the participation of certain countries. For example, here. Okay, for this, so you see it at the beginning, just at the beginning of the topic, in the specific conditions, all the information will be given. It's right that sometimes when you read the topic, it's quite abstract and you don't really know how to focus it and how to adapt the idea of project that you have into this topic. But in other cases, like this one, you really have the information. And when they say that legal entity is established in in certain countries may exceptionally participate. So it's something that you have to consider and you have to justify in your project. So it's something that they want to do. As I said, they are collaborative projects. The proposal, when we take the proposal, once we have identified the topic, we have developed the idea of the project, we have talked and we have met with the different partners of the consortium, it's time to write the proposal. And the proposal is divided into 3 different parts. You will have 45 pages to complete this the idea of your project. And so the first one is excellence, and the second one impact, and the last one is implementation. The 2 more important are excellence and impact, as when a project where 2 projects have the same score, for example, the score is on 15 points. When they have the same score, sometimes the evaluators will see how will check this excellence and impact part in order to know which one will be founded. Okay, if we go into details about the excellence part, so you have to develop the concept proposed. So it has to be creative, it has to be novel and innovative. So something such, it's a solution that you are giving that it hasn't been seen yet in other projects, but it can have some connections with other projects. The most important thing is to be clear, to be simple in the way you are explaining, and also you have to show how relevant are the objectives of your project. And all this has to be very realistic, not only in the ideas you are proposing, but also in the way you create your consortium and you distribute the different funding into your partners and in the timing that you are going to do the project. As for the impact part, you have to show how it will impact not only in a political way and in a scientific way, but also in the economic and social part. Okay, so it's something, so you will have to show the different steps that you will be giving for your project and how it will have like a final image in not only for the European Commission, but also for society, how useful this project is going to be for society. Okay, so they don't want to give a funding for projects to give money. They want to have a better society, a more inclusive one, and to have an economic growth and to create some jobs and everything. So there are projects from science to society. And in the last part, in the implementation one, you have to show the coherence and the effectiveness of the work plan. You will have to distribute the different tasks. You will have to show the risks that are associated with your project, and also which role will have each of the partners of the consortium. And you will have to be able, with the different budget that will be given to the different partners, to show the quantity and the quality of the resources that you are using. In this slide, you see how the political priorities are important, and they will show the way the different destinations and different calls and topics will be given each year. Okay, so it's coming from the European priorities, and it's going to more detail expected outcome or more detailed project result. As for the impact, here you have another time this scientific impact, but not only it's important to promote this scientific excellence, but it has to have an impact in society and in the economy. And here you have like some structure of the proposal, of the document of the proposal. So this chart you will be able to find it, and you will have to complete it and fill in all the different aspects in this summary in order to see how you are going to do your project and which results you expect to have. Okay. And as final recommendations, so one of the most important things, as I said, is to have a global vision of the issue, and starting with this global issue from a European or international level is to give an answer in a scientific way to a specific issue from your own project. Okay, so it's like you're starting from the global and you're going to something more specific. Then it's important to take into account the policy priorities, as I said, from the European Union, and to answer to real needs not only in the field of work, but also in the field of science. The consortium has to be diverse from the multidisciplinary partners and multisectorial. It's important also to take into account the gender balance in the project team, not only in the project team, but also to take this gender dimension in the research content itself. And one of another aspect very important is the inclusion of open science aspects. So it's important, as I said, this involvement of society. Social science and humanities in this cluster too are very important, and in all the projects it has to be mentioned in a way through a partner or through the idea of your project, because it's the program that has the most social orientation. You will have to show not only the scientific, but also the economic and social impact of your project, and to be, at the end, very realistic with what you want to show as a result or where you want to get with your project. Okay, it's important to know that because the evaluator will see that. And also to tell you that this program is compatible with other international, European, or even national funds. So here you have some examples, and I'm sure you have already heard about these programs. So even if you have a founding project with one of these programs, as you have to create a new consortium and to be flexible and adapt your idea to a new project and to answer a new call, it's possible to have this founding. So it's not a double founding. So we will have to check specifically the different conditions and the different context of each of the projects. But the idea is to create like a new project from what you have as an idea. Okay, and so lastly, one of the most important things, even if you have 45 pages, which is, I think sometimes it's quite short, but it's to be concrete. So you have to be simple in your ideas, direct in what you want to say, and to be clear in the project that you want to present to the Commission. I give you some information or websites that may be useful for you. In Cordis, for example, you can look for other projects that has been founded in other calls. So it's important, as I said, to have this connection with other programs, with other projects. So here you can find them. You have also this Net4Society website, which is also a consortium created to give more information and to help participants for this Cluster 2 program. In Spain, we have this website also with all the information of the different calls from the different clusters and different pillars of Horizon Europe. And I give you also the different links with the work program. And also, if you don't want to coordinate, but you can see through your project or your idea, you can see that you fit in one of the topics that I told you about. So maybe you can find a consortium that is being creating, and maybe you can try to contact the coordinator in order to be in the project. Okay, so here you have the different websites where you can have more information or help to be able to participate in this European program. So don't forget, the deadline for these 24 calls is the 7th of February. And here in Spain, we are 3 national contact points, and in other countries you will have also, not only in the European countries, but you will have also in other countries, you have different national contact points from Horizon Europe. And here you have my contact if you want to write, and maybe I can help you to solve any doubt that you may have. So thank you very much. If you have any question now, I can answer them.
Okay, thank you so much, Adeline, for being here and for all the explanation and the knowledge you share with us. For all the participants, if you have any question, you know that you can write it down, and we will be like here having the time, like we will have around 7 minutes because we know she has another appointment at 5. But in this time we will try to make as many questions as possible. One of them that it was coming from the beginning when you said that we have to adapt what we do to the call. It's like how we do it, because it looks like super complicated. And I wanted to put you like the example of our incubator. Like, okay, we develop training for people at risk of exclusion. We do it with a mentor from the private sector. How we adapt that to Horizon?
Okay, so it's a very good question, because I think it's the most tricky to adapt and to find a topic in which you can fit in, and also the creation of the consortium. For me, it's the most difficult thing. So what you have to do, it's when you take the topic. So first of all, you have to know in which areas you are expert. Okay, and so which areas you can answer. For example, if you are more about inclusiveness or inclusivity, I mean, or with the help of people or something like that. So you have to identify that in the different topics. Once you have identified this area, you need to see in which topic you can fit in. And in that way, what you can do is to select the keywords. So sometimes it can be like a school task, but to select the keywords of this topic, and then to compare it to what you can do. Okay, so in your case, you say, okay, this is what I can offer. This is the resources that I have, but sometimes you don't need to give all that resources into Horizon Europe. Okay, so maybe it's only one part that will be able to fit in the topic, and you will need like other partners to complete that puzzle that I mentioned before. Okay, so it's for example, the other day I have I had a meeting with a researcher, and at the beginning he wanted to focus on very specifically cultural heritage material, and he wanted to be in one of the topics, and I said, but it's very difficult because it's too specific for this call. So at the end he decided that what is important in the work he's doing, it's the methodology, the technical methodology of his work, and that this application may be applied in other contexts or in other works. So he's going to think more about this, what he can offer. So it's maybe not all your work that is can fit in the call, but only one part, because you are not going to be alone in this project. You have to create this consortium, and with the whole partners and the whole consortium, you will be able to give that answer to the call.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have a question about because Horizon Europe is, you said at the beginning, it's about research. It's like, how, if there are organizations that they are, working on the field, like working on a daily basis with people at risk of exclusion, how they translate that work into research?
Okay, so it will depend on the topic and in the partners that you will have. So that is why I said that it's important to have a research institution or a university, because each of you will have a task. So in your case, you will have the expertise of what you are doing in the field, which is very important for the researchers to translate it into recommendations or methodology. Okay, so it's a collaborative work. So that's the important thing. So what you're doing can be translated into a recommendation or something that the European Commission can have to follow the different steps to have a better society, or to have more inclusivity, or to have the promotion and the protection of the cultural heritage, for example. So it's a complementary work. So it's not, you are not going to do it alone. So that's why we have these collaborative projects.
Okay, thank you so much. And we know that we only have 3 minutes because you have to go. We say at 5. What could be your last advice for all those organizations that are attending this webinar? What you would suggest them?
Okay, so even if you are not focused on science and you are not doing science as a work, a direct work, or even if you are only working in the field and everything, you don't, to be able to participate, you don't need to create science or to do science suddenly. So you have to find the right partners, and the first thing is to identify the topic where you can fit in. So even if we have 2-year work programs, we will have calls every year. So it's important to know this information and to check every year, because it's changing. The topics are changing every year as the society is developing. So as I said, if you are following the news and you see the problems that we have as a society, you will be able to even to anticipate which topics will be developed in the next work programs. So and if you have an idea, and if you see that, for example, in this 24 call, you really fit in because it's your expertise and it's your field, and you think that you may participate, you have the different links where you can find different partners. And even if you are not the coordinator, you can try to enter or to be in one consortium and to be able to participate in this program for this call. And if it's not possible, you will have next year more topics and more calls to be able to participate.
Okay, thank you so much, Adeline, because I know it's time you to go. There were some questions regarding more technical things that we will try, after to respond. But thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you here. And we hope for 2024, so many organizations apply for Horizon Europe. Thank you so much.
I hope so. Thank you. And good luck.
Thank you. And as you know, all of our attendees, if you have any doubt about Horizon Europe, you can reach any of your national contact points. I checked it before and they are all in the website. Then you don't have any problem, and they are more not only in Europe, in any region. And then you will be able to meet, to connect with someone. But I will, go more to technical stuff. Thank you so much, Adeline. Now,
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Bye.
can.
Bye bye.
And now, for us, would be the time for one of our last networking events, because this afternoon Fans Weeks will will finish. It was 4 days, like really really intense for all of us. Here I have shared with you on the chat, as I do always, and also now I will answer to one of the questions, and I will put it again on the questions and answer, everyone to be able to come to the meeting. It will be around 45 minutes, like it does most of the times. And after 6 p.m. Spanish time, in 1 hour, we will be able to join a webinar for United Nations funds, in which one consultancy firm from Spain will bring his expert to speak about how to apply for United Nations funds. And then we will have 2 organizations, one from Sudan and one from Mozambique, that they will be able to, share their experience in how developing proposals for United Nations and how to win those tenders. And now I already send it. I will send it just in case one more time. It's in both places, in the chat and in the questions and answers. And now my team will remain here for a couple more minutes to be able, like, to copy paste the link for everyone, and I will join you in the other networking event. Bye. Thank you.
Hi, please join us in the other room, in the other event. The link is in the chat box. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Oh, here, let me